Yo, what up YouTube, it's your boy AM coming to you with an AMPM unboxing video. And today what we have for you is the Elgato Stream Deck. Stay tuned while we unbox this bad boy in a bit. Okay, I brought out the big knife right here to open up this package. What we have here is the Stream Deck. This is the older version of the Elgato Stream Deck. It was about $100 on sale. Usually goes for like $130 or something, $120. I can't remember exactly how much. And so it was between this or version 2, but I decided to go with this because it was more low profile. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and then we can see what's inside. They still sell this right now, so if you want to go pick one up, you can still get it. And then there's also the version 2, which from what I can tell is that the base is fixed to the actual Stream Deck, and then also the cord is removable. This one is not, so that's kind of like the difference between the two. But what we have here is the front of the box. It says Stream Deck. Top, there's nothing. Side says Stream Deck by Elgato. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In the back we have the specs. It says easy to set up, personal keys. The reason why I picked this up is because, you know, I'm working from home, and I also like to use my computer for content creation, so this may be a little bit helpful in terms of like doing all of that. For my Zoom calls, I can set this up to do all my Zoom commands instead of having to use the keyboard. I can just like press it directly from my Stream Deck, and then if I'm streaming, I can use it to switch cameras and scenes and things like that. And then just for my everyday to-day use, I can put apps on it, I believe, where I can just access the apps that I use every day instead of having to go through the menus. One button, one press, and I'm already into it. So we'll take off the top, and what we have here is the Stream Deck. I was gonna say Steam Deck, but Steam Deck's a completely different product. Oh, this is cool. Look at that. It's so nice looking. I was expecting a little bit more fanfare, but to check it out. So yeah, on the version 2.0, this thing is removable, but this one is attached. And then what we have here is a removable base stand. But I kind of like the fact that you can lay it flat like that on your desk, and so it kind of gives like a little minimal look. Maybe some people like to show it off a little bit more, and so they want to use the stand instead. And so it has like various positionings that you can use. So like that, you can go even lower and lower. It looks like you can even go even more low. Low as you go. Get low, baby. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I don't like this little thing because it's kind of wobbly actually, but I'm probably just gonna go like this for the most part on my Steam Deck. Ooh, the button pressing this feels nice. Actually, everything on it feels really nice. It's like a metal casing. The buttons feel like premium, and then like a nice little gloss to it. And also in the version 2.0, you can actually switch the face of the actual Stream Deck. So there's that. A fixed base, removable plate, and then removable cord, depending on what you want. But from what it looks like here, this thing is actually kind of long, so it may not be a problem actually. Yeah, so you probably get about, I don't know, 10 feet with this cable, which is kind of like the typical cable that you get. Right here we have basically the instructions of how to use the Steam Deck. I'm like a huge Elgato fan. I've been using their products for a while now, and so I'm just picking up all of their stuff. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See, if I had the version 2.0, the cable would be, I could just unplug it and then there would be no cable there. But that's what it looks like. And so, we're going to give it flame, explosion, smoke, stars, love, googly eyes, confetti. And yeah, that's pretty much the unboxing for the Steam Deck, and I hope you stick around and see the review for this particular device.
Ready?
Alright, it's the review time. I have been using the Stream Deck for a while now, and what I'm going to give you is the pros and the cons of this particular device. First things first, let's start with the cons. One thing that I have an issue with is that the Stream Deck software is a bit buggy. So to kind of more elaborate on that is that whenever time my computer does a reset, or I manually reset my computer, for whatever reasons, the Stream Deck does not recognize the plugins that I have installed, so I have to reinstall it again to get all the macro keys working again. And so that's something that I find particularly not very enjoyable to do. And then the second con that I have is that, but it still feels like it's in its infancy. It feels like it hasn't reached its full potential yet, and so it's requiring people to really program really cool controls in their ecosystem to make sure that the device can be fully utilized. And at the moment, there's a lot of options you have available, but it seems like there could be much more. Last thing I'll give as a con, but I wish that they had dials like they have in the newer one. When this first came out, they just had the macro keys here, but with the latest version of the Stream Deck, they have little dials there, and I think having the dials would make this little macro controller so much better. Alright, so we finished up with the cons, and let's jump right into the pros. And one of the things that I like about the Stream Deck is that it's so easy to use. It's pretty much like a plug and play. You plug it into your computer, download the software, and you're off running. It's like really no troubleshooting too much in terms of like getting this thing going. And then once you start figuring out how to like install all of the apps onto, or the plugins onto the device, you start figuring out what works best for you and then kind of designing the layout. Something that I also like about the Stream Deck quite a bit is the customization. If you're like into like making this personable as much as you want, you can change the pictures. You can even, like, if you're a graphic designer, make your own graphics that you can put onto the actual buttons here. So, you know, you're not limited by what you can do. And if you're a programmer, you can make plugins for the actual ecosystem and have it work on your device. So if you're like even more savvy, you can go even deeper. And so I think that's one of the hugest pros for this Stream Deck. And the last thing I will say that makes this such a cool little device is the productivity. For me personally, I do a lot of Zoom calls, and I have the Zoom controls on the actual Stream Deck, and then it's just easy. You just press a button, go into the controls. You know, you can turn mics off, turn it on, turn cameras off, turn it on, as opposed to, you know, using your mouse and searching for all the buttons in the little virtual display. I can just do it on my deck really quick. It comes in really clutch because sometimes, you know, I don't want to like eat food on my Zoom calls, so I'll hit the mute the camera and I'll turn my camera off, and I can like take a few bites and turn the camera back on. Another thing that I find particularly awesome too is that I have multiple devices connected to my PC, and so if I want to mute my mic, there's a button dedicated to that, and I also have external speakers and as well as headphones, and I can switch between the two really easy. And having all, like, you know, the macros on this little device makes that so much easier. So those are the pros and cons, and let's just get into my general thoughts about the device. I like this thing a lot. Actually, I find it to be very enjoyable, but I think overall, as a, you know, like a device that you want to add to your PC, it's not necessary, but it's good to have, and it makes things a lot simpler. And so overall, I feel really good about this, and so I'm going to give my rating of the Stream Deck, and I feel it's an 8.2. And I think if they figure out the bugs and they figure out more plugins come into it, it could easily reach a 9 and higher. And if you're out there to want to get a Gen 1, it's fairly easy to get. I mean, it's right now these things are on sale. I picked this up pretty cheap, and so that's why I bought it. And so I've been enjoying it quite a bit. And I also like the fact that you can like play games on this thing as well too. They have little plugins that you can do, like matching games, or you can play like Snake and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it for this unboxing as well as the review. And other than that, I give you peace.